It's very interesting how the police ended up at the Schenecker home to discover the children's dead bodies, Bo and Calix. Both of them honor students. When Calix was shot dead, she was at her computer in her bedroom doing her homework. Bo, the little boy, was still strapped in his car seat in the van. And Schenecker had just brought him home from soccer practice. And it's clear that he knew what his mother was about to do. Police theorize that he held his hands up to stop the bullet, and she shot through the glass to murder her own son.
And that trial begins Monday. Of course, On the Case will be on the case, and Nancy Grace tonight will be on it. 8 o'clock, Nancy Grace Mysteries. Don't miss it. A great way to get ready for the trial beginning on Monday. We bring back in the Dream Team and focus again on this defendant, Julie Schenecker. And again, appearances, because I think appearances are important. Because it's what the jury's going to be looking at and what they see, what they perceive. And I look here, right here, this is a picture. This is the before picture, right? This is a normal, happy family. That's what we're looking at here, a normal, happy family. This is after the killings. Look at her. Obviously, there is something going on here. Jay Abear, here's the question. You know, when it comes to insanity, how relevant is what they're doing, how they're acting after they have committed the killing, right? After, how significant is the way she's acting, what she's saying, and how she looks after the killing, as opposed to at the time of or just before?
Well, you have a very sharp panel, and we've already pointed out two issues. One, as Mike said, could be from DTs, withdrawing from alcohol. Or two, is it acting on her part? But one important issue I think your very astute watchers like to look at when they look at cases like this is the reason why insanity defenses don't go very far in this country is because those folks that are truly mentally ill and truly insane are deemed incompetent, and they can't go forward to trial because of that. As a result, we usually don't see those cases go forward, and they're hospitalized in mental hospitals for the duration until they're found to be competent. In this case, Julie Schenecker was found to be competent to stand trial, and a jury is going to make that decision. Now, Jay Pruner, top shelf prosecutor, an absolute pit bull, will have to deal with that video you're showing right now. That may be his worst enemy, because that will leave a lasting impression on this jury no matter how it plays.
Absolutely. All right, so that's that image. So let's flash forward to she's found competent, so she's been in court here looking a little bit more normal, Mike.
Yeah, she seems normal. You know, you look at the picture when she was having the tremors and, you know, as Jason, maybe the DTs, and you look here, she looks relatively normal, almost like the first picture we saw with her family.
Now let's look at the most recent one of her from inside the courtroom. And this one, it looks like she knows what's going on and really focus here on her eyes, right, on what's going on there. So, Darren Kavanoki, when you get to trial, you know, a jury is judging. And a jury, when you're saying legal insanity, is going to be watching and looking at the defendant throughout. And if she's going to do some darting glances like this, I think that could be problematic for her.
Well, it may be, because they'll be sizing her up constantly, but let's keep in mind that there are two separate mental health issues that arise in the criminal courts. One is competency to stand trial, and that relates to your mental ability at the time that your case is going through the system. Are you able to assist in your defense? Are you able to participate meaningfully in the proceedings? That's very different than legal insanity, which refers to your condition at the time that the crime was committed. And that's where that other imagery of her shaking, of her being in a bad state, that's relevant, circumstantial evidence of what her mental state would have been at the time of the act. So that's what's going to be important for lawyers to highlight, those two differences.
All right, we've shown Schenecker's various looks. Coming up next, we're going to hear her. How does she sound right after the killings? And we are still covering the murder trial of Oscar Pistorius. They're on a little bit of a break there. We're going to count down the top 10 keys to that case. Key number 5 coming up next hour.
Let's get a little breeze on this land. All right. Now let's get some bounce in the rhythm. All right.